Instead, Faris decides to have a shot. They've not had enough of those situations where they've passed it quickly like that. They've had those connections through the middle. Those combination plays for Singapore have been missing.
Irfan has gone down here. Rahmat isn't too impressed. But I think that's fair enough. That's an elbow into the face of Irfan Fandi. There's Faris Romli.
Yo, semangat Indonesia, semangat. Di-share kawan-kawan, di-share kawan-kawan.
Looks up for options.
Biar nggak kena notif kawan-kawan, di-share.
Well, Anumantan is too much on that pass, but there is Razwan Nazari. What I'm looking for is brother Iksan.
Di-share kawan-kawan, di-share, di-share.
Well, on Song Yu. Became a Singapore citizen just a few months ago.
Di-share kawan-kawan, di-share, di-share, di-share kawan-kawan.
Singapore's first naturalized player in a long, long time.
Biar nggak kena notif kawan-kawan, biar nggak kena notif. Di-share, di-share, di-share.
Roshan was an ex-teammate of yours, and just tell us
Di-share kawan-kawan, di-share.
attributes of this player, Song Yu.
Di-share kawan-kawan,
Well,
di-share.
you see it on the pitch when he plays. You know, you see it in the training sessions. His energy, his work rate, ability to carry the ball forward. So he's a very strong runner with the ball. And what he's added to his game over the last few years or so, as he's developed, as he's grown, 50-50 possession there. Indonesia still leading by a goal to nil. What we've seen from Song as he's grown is the ability to add goals to his game, being played in more advanced positions for his club side, previously Home United, now at times with the Lion City Sailors.
Played as a forward, didn't he, at the end of this last season?
Yes, that's right.
Ayo di-share kawan-kawan, di-share.
Great addition to this Singapore side. There's Iksan. There's urgency here about the Lions at the moment.
Tembuskan sampai 1000 kawan-kawan, tembuskan. Komentator bahasa Inggris.
Ahead of Iksan. Now Irfan Jaya. Rahmat Irianto, Ricky Kambuaya. Here's Alfrianda Dewanga. Now Song Yu. To thread that pass to Iksan. Irfan Jaya looking to slip that through to Ezra Wallingham. Shepherded out by Haris Harun. Singapore's been fairly solid at the moment, with Haris now moving into that back three.
Yeah, look, they look stable at the back for the moment. Better organisation, and they're starting to look a little bit better with the ball.
That move
in possession,
Anu in the holding role. What do you think? It's pretty good. It's worked.
It's worked for now. I mean, Anu, in terms of the profile of a player, he's not the most progressive in possession, but he's got good strength. He's a ball winner in the midfield. I think a lot of the creative element from midfield has probably got to come from Song, and they pushed him further forward alongside Iksan, him and Faris, and then we got Shadan in there as well.
Good challenge from Song, wasn't it? Lovely take here from Faris.
Ah!
Oh, great position. Took it on his weaker left foot.
Hampir. Aduh.
And that is their best opportunity of this half, Singapore.
Oh, wonderful work from Faris. This is really good from Singapore, the way they win the ball back here. So with a challenge.
Aduh.
And then Faris, have a look at this lovely bit of skill. and you're backing him. Once he gets into that position, you're backing him to finish it off. Wonderful here. He just sends Fakrud in the wrong way.
Untung supunya kokore dun kawan.
Trying to bend it.
Aduh. Kalau tidak kokore dun bahaya itu.
Forrest.
Certainly has been an improvement as far as Singapore are concerned. The mistake for Malcolm Baggett, giving the ball away. He's the new man in for Indonesia.
Ya di share kawan, biar nggak kena
Not had the best of impacts. Malcolm
notif,
Baggett's coming on.
biar nggak kena notif.
And Indonesia here, just at times defensively looking a little bit shaky. Singapore starting to up the tempo of their play.
And it's a double substitution for Singapore. Zulkarnain Suzliman, who's been the preferred right back, or right wing back as the case may be today, is now
Terus dia tadi tackle ya.
he's going to come on ahead of Nur Adam. So he's going to go into that left back or left wing back role. And Song Wei-yong is being taken off by Shawal Anwar. He was really making an impact, wasn't he, Song?
Yeah, again, I don't know if it's a fitness issue that they're sort of managing. But again, different type of player. Shawal coming in, lots of pace. You can see his acceleration here already. So he looks to try and track back and help his side out defensively. It's good with his off-the-ball runs as well, Shawal Anwar. Decent technician, ability on the ball.
Indonesia are now bringing on their team captain, Ewan Dimas, for Rahmat Widianto. This is the change we saw in the last game against Malaysia.
Yeah, I think what Ewan Dimas will bring with his introduction here is a bit more control for Indonesia and possession in midfield. I think they've lost control of the game a little bit. Perhaps needing not just fresh legs in there, but someone who's very comfortable in possession, can try and dictate the tempo for them in those areas.
So Shawal moving across to this right hand side. Dimas centre of midfield for Indonesia. Here's Irfan Jaya. Over the top by Witan Sulaiman.
Yeah, good control defensively again from Singapore. They're making sure they track runners. They got themselves a lot better organised out of possession.
Shadan. Looking to again release Shawal now. Well, they've got some pace up there, haven't they?
You have a look at that. Singapore's pass percentage is, in terms of the accuracy of passes, has gone up to 67% now.
Indonesia's as well. It's gone up a little bit to 75.
Sip.
Singapore certainly looking at a full unit in the second half. There's Asnawi. Dimas seems to have been around forever, Russia.
Yeah, he's been playing football for a long time now. I'm just looking at the attempts, and it's 6 each to Singapore and Indonesia, and both with 5 shots from inside the box. Just the one for both of them coming from outside the box.
It looks like Amy Rebka is also going to come on very shortly. There's some movement on the bench there. It'll be interesting to see if they're going to take off. Iksan Fandi.
Bagot.
Play 2 out-and-out strikers. They don't need to yet, Russian, right? With another whole game to come. It'll be interesting to see what they do. There's Shawal. Maybe with that second game in mind. 20-minute run out for Amy Reka.
Interesting to see if it's Iksan or Faris actually that potentially comes off here.
There's Ewan Dimas. Alfrenda Dewanga. Elkin Baggett. Kambuaya. Here's Witan Sulaiman has come onto this left-hand side for a bit. Sulaiman, strong header. Here's Faris. Still Faris. He's shot.
They deserved that goal, Singapore. I think they've been the better side in the second half. They started to find a flow and a rhythm in their game. They started to string passes together. Let's have a look at this one. Yeah, he's onside. Well clear onside. And I wasn't sure if he was certain he was going to score there. This takes a bit of a deflection of Nadeo, and the angle was against him as well. But what was important here, Faris does such a great job of drawing the defender towards him, beating him, and then releasing that pass into the space that was left behind. But you remember the ball that came across, and it was headed first time by Zulkarnain. And there were cries of time. And normally when you hear that, you think, okay, I'll take it down and bring it forward. But what was crucial was that he headed it first time right into the feet of Faris, and then Singapore could turn around and counter-attack quickly.
His third goal in the tournament, His first two came in the opening game. I tell you what, he scored. That was probably his last bit of action, regardless of what happened anyway. He asked to get taken off. That was the decision anyway by Tatsuma. He's done his part. Singapore will be hoping he'll be absolutely fine for the second leg in just a few days' time.
Wang.
Is also pretty quick. This game, of course, now livened up with about 20 minutes to go. Russia, this is beautifully poised now, isn't it?
Yeah, brilliant. Wonderful, and not just for the rest of this one, but for the second leg as well.
Reminder, we're playing two legs. There is no home and away legs in this at all. So the second semi-final is tied on aggregate. We will go to extra time, potentially penalties. The one guy's gone down and then quickly gets up.
Indonesia. Kopi gas pihak 5 ya, kopi banyak penuh eleh.
And now listen to the National Stadium. It's got the crowd going, that goal. But there's no doubt the changes have made a difference. Went down, and it's going to be a corner.
Yeah, it was so important that Ricky Kambuaya got that timing of his challenge spot on in that situation. Any sort of touch away from Ricky Kambuaya, this is a penalty. You can see that he makes a connection with the ball here, Ricky Kambuaya. Fantastic challenge. It looks like Shawal's going to be running away with it, but important interception from Kambuaya.
They've lost one of their best receivers on the set piece. Iksan, but there's a...
Hey! Astaghfirullahaladzim. Aduh.
Opportunity for Saffron Marlin to make it two.
And they almost make this set piece count. Again, a wonderful quality from Shadan. I mean, his deliveries have been excellent. And Safwan again, Singapore get a first head on it, but they can't punish Indonesia. He's unlucky.
Semangat Garuda, semangat.
But it's just enlivened this crowd here in the National Stadium. It's a sea of red looking for that ball. Anumantan on that header. Faris looking for Amy Reka. Here's Evan Dimas. Indonesia trying to get control of the ball again. Control this game. Nazrul Nazari. Here's Ricky Kambuaya. Pratama. Releases quickly to Zulkarnain Sulaiman. Willing them on the crowd here. at the National Stadium.
Lag.
Someone opts for safety.
Well, this could be a formula for Singapore going forward, you know. If they decide to go with 5 at the back, Haris dropping into central defence alongside Safwan and Irfan for the rest of the competition. However long they've got left in it. I mean, they've looked much better organised in the second half defensively and in possession as well. They're looking so much better that they've increased the tempo of their play. Indonesia, the ones that have started to just look a little bit wobbly in certain situations.
There's Haris Harun onto Shadan Sulaiman. It's also, this is zipping the ball around more, aren't they?
Better connections now.
Atur nuhun jempolnya, terima kasih jempolnya. Share.
There's a bit more confidence on the ball in possession.
Berbagi.
Now we there.
Kita nobar.
Opening up the pitch a little bit better as well with the positions that they're taking up. And again, they're connecting the passes a lot better here.
Atur nuhun, Lope, hatur nuhun.
One ball. Oh, lovely work. Shawal.
Semangat
Firstly,
Garuda.
ball won by Manu Mantal.
Yeah, good bit of skill by Imi. And it just takes the contact and wins the free kick. Clever bit of play.
Will be a lot happier, won't he? Tatsuma Yoshida.
Der.
And now you can really hear the chants for the
Bagus.
Singapore crowd. But here come Indonesia. Evan Dimas.
Evan. Enggak.
Witan Sulaiman.
Cus.
And away by Haris. That was the first touch was from Irfan.
Ser.
Ricky Kambuaya.
Woi.
That's outside the
Sit.
box.
Kartu sit.
Oh. I think Pratama Arhan has gone over to say it's right on the line. If it's on the line, it should be a penalty. Clumsy from Nazrul. It could have really been punished here. Oh, that's a penalty.
Oh, penalty sit.
Oh, that should have been a penalty.
Penalty sit.
Very fortunate, Singapore, that there's no video assistant referee, because that should have been a penalty to Indonesia.
Yeah, from the angle we were on,
Penalty
it was
sit,
very, very tight. The referee immediately pointed to a free kick.
Aing.
As you can see from that replay, a clear penalty for Indonesia. That will be a talking point. Not many protests on that one either. Here's Evan Dimas.
Atur nuhun jempolnya, atur nuhun. Berdoa untuk timnas. Timnas pasti menang. Atur nuhun Lopena, atur nuhun. Terima kasih. Dari mana aja ini yang penonton nih?
I'm
Kita
not
nobarnya nih.
sure. Rest of them do. Indonesia about to make another change here. Haris Putra is going to come on. Oh, he's done his job magnificently. Well, the man has only been on for
Terima
about
kasih Lope ya,
half
terima
an hour.
kasih.
He's off.
Berdoa untuk timnas pasti menang, pasti menang. Aduh.
He's taken off by Haris Putra.
Terima kasih jempolnya kawan-kawan. Kita nobar bareng kawan-kawan. Terima kasih Lope ya, terima kasih Lope.
Looking for that potential flashpoint.
Kita berbagi nobar.
That's flipped over. El Kabaga, he'll be the one that they'll look for in these sort of situations. Sagara Putra, 22 years of age.
Terima kasih jempolnya, terima kasih.
Just his second cap. His first one was coming on against Malaysia right at the end of
Terima
the last
kasih
game.
Lope-nya kawan-kawan, terima kasih.
Emi
Doa
Reka.
selalu untuk
That's a
timnas.
foul, yes. Dewanga was furious. Shaking his head.
Important for Emireka to make sure he held on to it or won a free kick in that situation. Singapore under a little bit of pressure. Indonesia starting to get themselves back into this game.
Shawar, touch on. Here he's back on the ball.
Maaf saya matikan komenannya ya biar full yang nonton di rumah masing-masing.
It will be a throw in for Singapore.
Biar pandangannya tidak terhalang ya, kawan-kawan. Maaf.
Franda Dewanga. Ibrahim Dimas. 10 minutes left in this match, plus some out of time, and this is just the first of 2 legs for Singapore and Indonesia.
Covered by Haris.
Terima kasih jempolnya, terima kasih. Jangan lupa berdoa untuk timnas. Jam menit 80 ini kawan-kawan.
He's done in midfield in this competition.
Indonesia have responded fairly well.
Terima kasih Lope-nya, terima kasih. Jangan lupa berdoa untuk timnas kita.
A good little spell right after it. Trying to get a grip on this game, aren't they? Again.
Terima kasih jempolnya, kawan-kawan. Terima kasih.
Dimas with the delivery, straight forward for Sansani. He was looking out at Faris Ramli, and he's going to deliver the ball to him anyway. That was perhaps telegraphed. Good work there from Hannes. Here is the new forward. Now Asnawi. Away by Shalat Sulaiman. Dewanga is there ahead of Emireka. Here is Evan Dimas. Good work here.
Yeah.
This to
Yo.
the wing back. Pratama.
Lagi. Jangan dikasih kendor lagi.
It's already made a really good impact since coming on.
Terima kasih Lope-nya. Jempol-jempolnya terima kasih kawan-kawan. Terima kasih.
On the left hand side. It caused a few issues for the Singapore defense with his link up play.
Ngopi nggak enak ngerokok ini perasa hambar
It's
kawan-kawan.
been such an even game of football. Fascinating to see the changes from the first half and into the second.
Mantan on Hannes, who's done
Dar,
a great time
yeah.
with the shot. It's straight at Hassan Sani.
Well, Hannes in the 5 minutes that he's come on has made so much more of an impact than Ezra Walian did in his time on the pitch. It's an attempt. I mean, if it taken a deflection of Haris, that could have ended up in the back of the net. A little bit of curve at the end there, just
Egi
almost
mana si Egi? Katanya udah datang nih si Egi.
fooling Hassan.
Touch off from Nazrul. Here's Anumantan. Now Emireka. Oh, we're going to get a late goal here to give one of these sides the edge going into the second leg, which is on the night of Christmas, 25th of December, Saturday night. Mark that in your calendars. Gone there by Charlotte Emireka.
Ya Allah, ya Allah, Gusti. Kopi terasa hambar, kawan-kawan, badan keringetan, kawan-kawan, badan keringetan.
Timing of that jumper. About to see another change for Singapore here with Hafiz Noor.
First time he's appeared in this edition. Hafiz Noor. Yet another Lion City Sailors player. Intercepted that ball. Look at this run here.
Oke, semangat terus. Oke, astagfirullah, di tukang eta kosong. Di tukang, aduh.
Singapore come roaring back.
Aih.
Here's Faris Ramli.
Aduh. Tobat.
Almost like reminds me a little bit of.
Oke.
Claim that. It's going to say the way Asnawi runs up and down that right hand side, or especially down that right hand side, is and they try to stop him. It's like as if he's slatted in that baby oil, which is what Nama Traore does, doesn't he? For Wolves. Can't take him down when he starts moving.
The only difference is the physique, Roshan, I think.
Asnawi's getting there, I think, with the physique.
Terima kasih jempolnya kawan-kawan, terima kasih jempolnya. Terima kasih.
Yeah, almost happened there.
Kita berbagi.
There's just such amazing pace about this Indonesian side, isn't there?
Yeah, it certainly is, and
doakan saya supaya banyak rezekinya, beli kuota lagi ya kawan-kawan, doakan.
And Singapore have got good pace themselves. The likes of Shawal on the pitch now, Faris, Iksan when he was on. Now another quick, speedy player about to come on for Singapore to replace Faris Ramli.
Yeah, I mean, Hafiz Noor is now 33, and he's still got bags of pace about him. Faris was played his part, hasn't he, this evening with the assist for Iksan Fandi.
Yeah, and I think he got more involved in the game in the second half. They cut out the first half. You can see they were trying to counter-attack very quickly. Lots of direct balls being played forward. Not quite finding the accuracy of those passes, and the pass selection wasn't very good from Singapore in the first half. Second half, they got players closer together in certain situations, and at the same time, they were able to sort of position themselves in a way that could stretch out the pitch, and stretch out this Indonesian side. So those connections, those players were closer around in possession of the ball. They were moving in to receive, and then they were runners off the ball as they're doing here once again.
Relatively comfortable here for Nadio.
It's increased the pace of their play as well in the second 45. Singapore, wonderful work here. Spins away, receives it. Off Hafiz Noor. Testing the goalkeeper. Really good shot. Difficult one as well to execute. Bouncing around like that from range and speed.
Oh ya Allah.
So well,
Rasa kopi di kawan-kawan gimana ini? Nggak ada manisnya atau gimana ini?
Away by Baggett. You think, Roshan, this might be the template now, right? With Harris in the three and perhaps Anumantan there in midfield?
Yeah, that could work for them. I mean, again, it really depends on what they're trying to do, right? It changes from game to game, and just because it's working now doesn't necessarily mean.
Here's Timnas. Such pace about Irfan.
But I will say that they have looked a lot more organised since Harris has gone into the centre of that back line. So Karnine has done very well there, to make sure that he was able to keep pace with Irfan. Track back, get on the inside, get goal side, come across. Shepherd it all the way to your goalkeeper.
Ayo Indonesia, ayo Indonesia. Ini kopi gua biar terasa manis lagi Indonesia. Ayo, pasti menang.
It's a quick upfield.
Kiper mana kiper? Oh, Masya Allah.
Not straight through with the top of Witan Sulaiman as well.
Kartu merah itu sih yang menang tuh tadi sih.
Been a dangerous one this.
Semangat Indonesia, semangat Garuda, semangat Indonesia.
Picks himself up.
Pasti bisa, pasti bisa, pasti
He's
bisa.
picked up this Indonesian crowd here with his goal.
Yeah, love the finish. Love the finish. His composure in that position. Just opens his body up, guides it past Hassan Sani. And then here Faris carries the ball forward, beats a man and then plays it into that space that was vacated by the central defender who had pushed forward to try and stop the run of Faris Ramli. But just before that as well, the header from Zulkarnain I think was very important.
Indonesia.
First time header straight into Faris Ramli. And that meant the momentum of the move was kept alive.
And look at that with the
Maaf kawan-kawan, saya matiin komenannya ya, biar kawan-kawan nyaman nontonnya ya. Maaf kami.
Irfan, sorry, Iksan I should say, 11 goals now in 25 appearances. Not a bad return.
That's a very good return. I think that's a really good return for the centre forward on the international stage.
Talking to his brother Ilhan there. Many people's lips, we're going to see all three Fundy brothers
3
together.
menit bos, 3 menit
Of
bos.
course, the legendary Fandi Ahmad, known particularly well in both Singapore, of course, and Indonesia. He spent a lot of time. Yabes Roni will have a cameo here in place of the hugely impressive Irfan Jaya.
Terima kasih jempol, terima kasih Lope-nya, terima kasih. Cuman ini kopi terasa hambar kawan-kawan. Badan keringetan kawan-kawan, badan keringetan ikut capek kawan-kawan.
One last opportunity perhaps for Indonesia with Yabes Roni coming on. A bit more pace in there. Last minute and a half or so. Buaya.
Here's Pratama Arhan. Slips it to Kambuaya. Alimantan. Ace of Yabes Roni on him. He's held off that challenge.
Ayo,
About a minute
semangat,
left
semangat,
of this added time.
semangat. Pasti bisa, pasti bisa. Sit, Indonesia bisa. Pasti bisa.
Well, assuming it stays this way, well, right back where we started. No away goals, so
Throw in by Pratama.
nothing
Goes up for a
really,
goal kick.
nothing really changes. Nothing's really changed. Oh,
Sip.
corner.
Kesempatan terakhir. Bagot kehareup, bagot kehareup.
Casual. Very casual there.
Bagot kehareup di dikiran di bagot dikir di dia dikir.
A contentious moment perhaps. Right at the end of this match.
Ya
If they go
Latif,
straight
ya
up the right,
Kobir,
score the
ya
corner.
Halim, ya Karim. Indonesia menang.
It's got a lot of players around. The referee has noticed that. There he is.
Bagot. Umpan agak tinggi.
Safwan and Irfan all around him.
Allahu Akbar.
And that's away by Shawal Anwar. That will be it.
Haha,
What
Masya
a second half I think we had. That came to life. Iksan Fandi with the crucial equaliser for Singapore. Roshan, both coaches will have had some good moments here. It's a fair result.
Yeah, I mean, 1-1 in a match where away goals and things like that don't matter. Doesn't really change anything going to the second leg. It's great for us neutrals.
Absolutely.
It's all kept alive
Allahu
for
Akbar,
the second leg. It was a strange match.
masih
It
ada
was a strange
kesempatan
match. You know, I thought
nanti.
Singapore
rumput
were a
bagian
little
bum.
bit flat in the opening 45. Indonesia were the better side. And then the second
Terima
half,
kasih kawan-kawan sudah
the
menemani.
changes that
Terima
they
kasih
made, the
kawan-kawan.
structure to the team.
Maafkan
They
komentar
tend to get the
live-nya saya
tempo of the
matikan
game,
biar
but they were
kawan-kawan
the equalizer,
puas
whereas
melihatnya
Indonesia
ya.
in the second half
Maafkan
started to
saya,
look a little
maafkan
bit
saya.
on
Salam
reason,
dari
a little bit
Majalengka,
tired.
Jawa Barat
It's a
saya.
fair result in the end, and
Terima kasih kawan-kawan,
this
terima
makes things
kasih.
very, very exciting going into the second leg at the weekend.
That was a nice way of saying a game of two halves. Well, it has been, entertaining in parts, of course. There is still a long way to go. We are only at the halfway stage of this semi-final, and it's honours even. And they do it all again in just 3 days on the first night
Semangat,
of
semangat, jangan
Christmas.
saling menyalahkan, semangat teman-teman.
Let's see who will come bearing gifts. Full-time score here in the first leg semi-final of this AFF Suzuki Cup 2020. It's Singapore 1, Indonesia 1. The crowd showed their appreciation. I think this will be.
Terima kasih Lope dan jempolnya. Terima kasih kawan-kawan.
I think this is important from
Semoga
Singapore's
Indonesia
perspective. This is very
jaya
important
nanti
that
di
they were
grupnya.
able to give their fans something to shout about, something to cheer. Like to
Siap
come out
Mas
and
Nito,
fully
live
fan
kedua
the
nanti live
fans
lagi. Siap, siap. Mudah-mudahan kita semua panjang umur dan disehatkan selalu. Doanya juga buat saya semoga gampang rezekinya ya,
after that game against
teman-teman.
Thailand, and this was a good response from them, especially in the second half, and it creates a lot of enthusiasm for the second leg. And the same for the Indonesian fans. You know, they've been brilliant, and the players have gone over just to show their appreciation for the fans that have come out to support them, and I'm sure they'll be back, support their side in the big one, in the
Semangat
decider.
Indonesia, semangat
It
Indonesia.
was interesting, wasn't it? You mentioned how the game went a bit flat at times for one team or the other. Just like the crowd as well, it reflects what's going on the pitch. But then there was a good period of about 10-15 minutes where both sets were doing all they could. They got nice and stretched, it was a bit of end-to-end.
Kenapa itu dikasih emot ketawa kawan-kawan? Indonesia sekarang sedikit sedih ini. Sebenarnya banyak peluang Indonesia. Jangan dikasih emot ketawa. Kasihan perjuangan Garuda, tim Garuda ya. Jangan dikasih emot ketawa. Hargai perjuangan tim Garuda kita.
So I can understand that. A little bit of pragmatism at times, a little bit of a lack of risk taking.
Masih ada leg kedua kawan-kawan, masih ada leg kedua kawan-kawan.
I think it's going to be fascinating to see what the tactical setups are going to be in that one. Whether both teams come back into a back five, or whether they go back to their systems of four at the back and they both go and try and attack each other.
Yes, of course, it's a different dynamic.
Oh,
Here is the man of the match,
of the match na
Sulaiman,
Witan.
who
Sip.
scored the opening goal, but he did so much more, didn't he?
He's a wonderful player to watch. Lovely player to watch. So graceful on the pitch, the way he just glides across, and intelligent in the way he takes up his positions, and the good knowledge of good awareness of when he needs to hang
HP-nya
on to it, when
Xiaomi
he needs
dong,
to play
Witan.
first
Kayak
time.
Oppo ya.
And he never looks rushed, never looks hurried. You know, he's always composed in possession, and then of course adding that quality with the finish. You know, it's all about getting those numbers up. People watching the games, they might not necessarily be paying attention to you as the 22 players to keep an eye on. But if you get your numbers up in those situations, you start to get noticed a lot more as well.
So that brings us to an end here at the National Stadium on the first of two semi-finals tomorrow. Vietnam take on Thailand. Who would have thought that would be the semi-final matchup? That will be another lip-smacking affair.
Masih ada leg kedua kawan-kawan, kita tetap berdoa kawan-kawan. Masih ada leg kedua. Kita kasih support terus timnas kita.
From now,
Kasih support terus
team
timnas
are
kita.
regaled by their fans. The national anthem.
Ada apa itu
They
berdiri di
stand in
timnas
pride here
Singapura?
after what's been a good performance, a much better performance
Maksudnya apa itu berdiri menghadap penonton ini?
they've done in the early matches. But from me, Shazad Hug and Rish Roshan Ryan, thanks for joining us. We'll see you tomorrow night.
Tayong
Coach, 1-0 here. Are you happy going into the second leg with this result?
지금 1대를 비기셨는데요. 다음 경기 이제 해야 되는데 오늘 경기 결과에 만족하십니까?
오늘 경기가 절대 만족 못하고 한 번쯤 고비가 올 거라 생각했는데 그 고비가 오늘 온 것 같아서 조금 아쉽습니다.
Definitely not satisfied with the result today. Result of the match today. I thought that we would have difficult moment throughout the tournament, but then the moment it seems like the moment came on to us today. So a little bit disappointing after all, but yeah.
And Egi Morana coming back for the second leg. What is he going to bring to the side?
지금 애기가 지금 두 번째 경기에 참석할 것인지 그 다음에 애기가 만약에 들어오면 어떻게 경기를 할 것인지.
일단 뭐 애기가 다음 경기에 출전하지 않을까 그렇게 생각을 하지만은 그 멤버는 또 모든 선수의 컨디션을 보고 멤버를 짤 것이다.
Yes, he may be able to play in the second leg.
Terjemahannya ada di HP masing-masing ya kawan.
Look at
Maafkan
the
ini
conditions
bahasanya.
of all the players overall first, and then I'm gonna decide.
And a message to your boys for the second leg.
두 번째 이제 경기에 선수한테 어떤 메시지를 전할 것인지.
뭐 오늘 우리가 뭐 잘했던 거나 못했던 거 있기 때문에 못했던 거에 대해서 조금 우리가 더 연구하고 준비를 잘해서 다음 경기에 승리할 수 있도록 준비하도록 하겠습니다.
We've had good moments as well as bad moments throughout the 90 minutes of the match today, and so we will definitely have a look at the moments that didn't go really well, and then prepare for the next match accordingly.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
For the second leg.
Thank you.
Terima kasih Lopenya kawan-kawan, terima kasih Lopenya, terima kasih. Ini boleh saya tutup kawan-kawan atau nanti dulu mau mendengar penjelasan dari coach Singapura atau saya tutup? Nah,
Coach, much better in the second half, better tempo, good connections as well. What was the reason behind that?
I think so. Second half, boys was getting better. But so kind of this match, boys were a bit nervous. We have to understand. But just finished, just half. Second half, we had in between 2 days, after 3 days, we have to try to be better.
And the song was doing well, but you took him off. Is that fitness related? And also an update on Iksan's fitness?
About song? Yeah, and the songs from first half, he was trying play very hard. Yeah, so he got a bit tired. Yeah, that's all we have next match. And so Iksan and song. Also maybe they have to play the next match.
And your message to the boys for the second leg?
Sorry.
A message to your boys for the second leg?
But we can not promise must win. But I can promise we are able to show our full potential, full performance.
Thank you very much. Good luck for the second leg.
Thank you.
terima kasih Lopenya kawan-kawan. Oh iya kawan-kawan, dukung juga subscribe ya channel aku di YouTube Nis Channel ya kawan-kawan. Terima kasih yang udah nonton di FB akun. Nanti di YouTube namanya Nis Channel ya. Nah, ini cuplikannya kawan-kawan. NIS Nis Channel ya di YouTube ya kawan-kawan ya.